Welcome to the FSM Sales Confessional, the show where real sales reps share their toughest struggles completely anonymously, from losing big clients to clashing with management or just feeling stuck. This is your space to be real. Each episode, I pick a few letters that hit hard, and I respond with honest, tactical advice to help you move forward. No fluff, just real talk. Welcome back to another episode of the FSM Sales Confessional. I am your host, Jenna Quaranta, and I am joined today with somebody who is very important to me, and I'm going to introduce her in just a second. I want to just say thank you, Promo Corner, for sponsoring this show while I'm on the road in Michigan, picking up my kid from summer camp, and here I am, and we're serving the industry, Kristine. So Kristine is one of the most thoughtful leaders in the industry. She's currently the Director of Marketing at Pop Promos, and somebody who has had a tremendous impact on my life and my daughter's life. Kristine has experienced something I wish more professionals would. She didn't start in sales, she dove into sales, she learned sales, and she took that experience back into marketing. And today we're going to explore, I love that word, explore, what it's like for somebody to jump into sales who has a marketing background. So thank you for being here. I'm excited to hang out with you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Jenna. I hope you can hear me okay. I think there's a little bit of internet lag happening here. Do I sound okay? Coming through all right?
There is a little lag. Yes, you sound okay? Yes. Yeah, you're great. Am I okay?
A little bit laggy, but I think we can work with it.
Okay. There is a lag.
Yes, but I'm sure.
Dang, you know what? This is going to be, this will be true to our relationship, diving in and using the resources we have to make it work. Well, thank you for being here. And I just want to, 100%. And I just want to start off with the obvious, right? You did not come from a sales background. So knowing that and just diving into this conversation, what was your biggest misconception about sales before you started selling? And what surprised you the most once you got into it?
Yeah, so honestly, the first thing that comes up for me, and this will date me a little bit, but do you remember the movie Matilda?
Yes.
Yes. So in that movie, Matilda's dad is played by Danny DeVito, and he's like this super crooked, like used car salesman. And it was kind of my first idea of what a salesperson might be. I know you grew up your father was in sales. And so I know that's probably had a big impact on how you think about sales you have since you were a child. But for me, I kind of started to think, sales are slimy people. This guy in the movie, he's like lemons, he's just doing anything for the bottom dollar, right? And he's not a good dad, he's not a nice person. And so I've kind of, when I was a kid, I always thought of like a salesperson as someone kind of slimy, which is very funny for me to say now because it's really the antithesis of one of your field sales method taglines, that sales is an honor. And it is. And Danny DeVito in that movie did a disservice to the name of a salesperson for sure. But that's just one example of a very typical stereotype of a salesperson, right? That's not how a salesperson acts to be successful, and you and I both know that. To retain business, to grow, to get people to come back, you can't be somebody who's going behind someone's back, trying to cheat them into a sale. You have to be a partner. You've got to solve problems. You want to keep people coming back, not driving them away by giving them a terrible experience. So that's kind of was one of my biggest misconceptions about sales for sure. Your second question was around what surprised me the most, right?
Yep. I have to watch this movie, by the way. Now you're like getting me to I feel like I have to go watch this movie now because I've seen the movie years ago, but the father figure never stuck out, and now so keep going. This is great.
Yeah,
this is great.
I feel like the iconic bad dad scene in that is Danny DeVito saying I'm big, you're small, I'm smart, you're dumb kind of thing. And yeah.
I remember that. that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie, family friendly, great soundtrack. But yeah, I really thought sales was about being convincing and maybe being a little bit more performative or script. And there is an element of that, right? You want to be prepared. You want to be strategic, but I think some of the worst sales reps are the ones that just won't stop talking. And what's more important than convincing someone is opening up the conversation, right? Like asking the right questions. And what surprised me the most was really something that is very simple, but you really opened my mind to when you first called me and asked me to get into sales was that sales is just really about relationship building at the heart of it. Um, a lot of my early experience interacting directly with customers was on a trade show floor for Alpha Broder, and I worked on the events team there, and it was very transactional. I was very used to getting in front of a customer, helping out when sales reps were overwhelmed on the floor, and it was very much me showing the features of a polo or a t-shirt, and that's really what I thought sales was like. This is moisture wicking, and this is not going to pill, and everything like that. So when you approached me and told me I would be good at this, I really thought about what kind of experiences you saw me sell in, and trade shows were the first thing that came to mind. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. But like a true salesperson, Jenna, you really listened to me. You listened to my fears, and you convinced me of my strengths around relationship building. You had been watching me do that part for years too. And it turned out to be the key to my success, like not repeating that, this polo comes in 5 colors and it's only $5.99 net, and any of those things. Knowing the product information does help a lot. Like you want to know what you're saying, but that's not how you need to start off. And that was kind of the biggest surprise to me. Like a lot of it is just using the same skills that you that you use to build relationships every day. You want to be someone that people stop what they're doing to pick up the phone for. Everyone's so busy. So how do you build that relationship so when they see your name pop up in their inbox or on your phone that they want to take that call, they want to look at that
Yes.
email?
Otherwise, it's FOMO. If I don't pick this up or get back, what am I missing? Because I trust this person. The rapport is there. There's credibility. It's a fear. It's a fear. It truly is a fear of missing out. That's a real emotion. So you brought up something so interesting, communication. And it's so true, right? So like looking back now, in addition to communication and just how important that is, how has it changed the way that you do communicate now in a marketing role and maybe negotiate or look for solutions differently and build relationships professionally, yes, but personally as well?
Sure. For communication, I think a lot of it is learning to read what someone isn't saying, reading someone's body language, their hesitation, their tone, what they maybe gloss over. And I kind of alluded to this already, but I learned to shut up. If I get really nervous, I might try to fill the silence. And that was something that I used to do a lot. I'm sure it still comes up from time to time. But you don't need to do that. And something I really learned to lean into is noticing those small cues in body language, and instead of just responding to that, opening up the floor even more and saying, tell me more about that. But the biggest communication shift that I saw for myself was that I really learned how to set expectations off the bat. To tell someone and to show someone exactly who you are from the get-go. Why are you talking to them? How am I providing you value? Just showing people who you truly are. It applies in leadership too. Just setting expectations helps in every asset of your life. When you look at how you might take this into your personal life, when you talk about what you want and what you need from your partner, from your friends, the better your relationships are going to be. You don't want to play guessing games. And the more that you don't set expectations, the more miscommunication you're going to have, the more you're going to butt heads because you both decided what you wanted the outcome to be in your mind. You didn't say it out loud.
I'm just clapping, yes. Yes, that is accurate. Like transparency wins. Transparency, clarity, it builds rapport, it builds relationships. Whether you're marketing, professional, sales, personal life, it doesn't matter. So you're spot on, right? Leading with transparency, directing the conversation, telling the individual why you're there, why they're there, why it matters to them, what could happen next. And
Right.
you're very good. You're so good at that, And like one of the things back, Alfred Broder, when Alfred Broder and Bodick joined, that's what sparked me with you. Is you were so great about combining a story, target markets, who this is great for, with the feature of the polo. That's why we called you. So you're phenomenal. I was like, we need her. Go. As a startup, call Kristine. Just kidding, don't call her. But that's what we did, right? We knew that you were going to be a value to us because somebody in marketing has a foundation of who's the story for, where's this going, what needs to be said, how do we say it, how do we like build credibility. You guys are also, I feel like marketing people are operations experts. Sales reps, don't hate on me, bros. Sales reps, we are not great at operations. We are visionaries. And marketing folks, you guys are like fielding, marketing people are like shortstop, like, oh, got the ball. And then you guys make it work. You guys take line drives from the sales team, sales leaders, probably all the time. And you guys do a really nice job of looping in operations, however you guys do it. And it's like, we'd be lost without marketing people. So for you to have that foundation of, let's direct this, let's be transparent, let's have clarity, you must be passing that on to the sales team. You have to, right?
Yeah, 100%. And you just make me laugh so much with that, because it just, brings me back to when we worked together, and those line drives never stop from you. I mean, Jenna and just give everyone a little bit of a peek around the curtain. Jenna will be messaging me on Teams or Slack, whatever the internal messaging system is, sending me an email, sending me an Instagram message, like each one of them a new idea she had. And that's a big part of good sales. No, it's not something to be sorry for. And as a marketer, I loved it, right? It was fun to be able to have somebody constantly feeding ideas. But yeah, you're right. It's great to have that partnership and then be able to say, ooh, that one's a really good one. Let's operationalize that and get that going.
I mean, to your point, right? Like, you're back in marketing today, out of sales, right? You've been back in marketing for how long? You've been at Pop now? 3 years?
3 years. Today is my anniversary at Pop Promos, actually.
Congratulations, right? So knowing you've been back in marketing now for 3 years, having a solid sales experience under your belt, how has that, besides your communication, but how has that changed your approach with even working with sales reps or guiding sales reps? Because I feel like marketers kind of have to be a sales coach sometimes. You guys do have to coach us sometimes, right? Like, you guys guide us. You guys, so how's that changed it?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that comes from setting like the go-to-market message, right? Like, everyone's got to be aligned with that, and that usually comes from marketing. So having really clear communication around that and knowing what kind of questions the sales team is going to get in the field really helps to kind of outline what those might be and kind of explore every corner of like what you're expecting. Thanks, Joe, for the anniversary shout out. But I feel like the three biggest things that really changed for me when I moved from sales back into marketing was increased empathy for not only clients but sales, better copywriting for sure, and better relationships with sales overall. On the client side, when you're talking about increased empathy, you're stopping the way that you might market to a persona, right? I do believe in account-based marketing for sure, but it becomes more than just a persona on a slide, right? It's a person you've actually talked to, that you know their pain points, and you can see the difference between all different kinds of clients so much more clearly when you've lived that life, right? You've heard those objections out loud. You've heard from the customers directly versus guessing or hearing it secondhand from a salesperson. That really changes it. Especially because every client's going to say something in a different way that might unlock something for you. I've always been a very empathetic person, and I feel like that is a part of me that makes me a great marketer and salesperson. But that just got amplified once I started working directly with customers. I started to understand even more how effective the distributor is. And as a supplier, you really have to make it easy for them to work with you, right? If you're not providing value, we're just adding to their burden. And that's the last thing you want to be for someone who you want to do business with, right? And then the other two things, I mentioned better copywriting. Everything that you do has got to solve a problem. You're always getting to those pain points. So when you're writing copy on the marketing side, how are you solving that problem? That's the message that's going to survive. That's the message that's going to help someone convert. And you're writing copy to kind of respond to the objections before they happen. So if you've had to answer them live, you already know what the objections are going to be. So just lead with the solution. And then the last piece was about better relationships with sales, right? Like you're going to get a lot more respect from a salesperson who knows that you've sat in their seat before, right? They automatically, it all comes down. You speak the same lingo. You have fewer of those like sales and marketing, headbutting. They just respect you more and they want to let you in more because they know you felt the pain that they've felt, the pressure they've felt, right? So getting marketing people in the field is invaluable. Like even if you're not going to be a marketer who actually takes a sales role, marketing people should be traveling with sales. They should be going to customer calls with them. Even if you're just listening to a phone call, I mean, there is no better way to get to know your customer than to actually get to know your customer.
I mean, right, marketing teams, golly, like if the resources are there, I hope every VP of marketing is in the field, director of marketing managers, right? Like, my goodness, what you guys are, it actually, you made me think of something. I'm going back to our Alpha Rotor days and back to your Bodic days, right? Mm-hmm. You still have some incredible friendships. I mean, look at you and me with the sales team from Bodic and Alpha. And it's because we did trust you. We did feel like you understood our grind and you did give us content, and even the kits and the samples you guys deployed for us, they did align, right? Like you really did do a nice job connecting with the sales team. It speaks volumes of you and your passion for sales and actually your passion for your job and understanding that the two go hand in hand together. But I just realized that your relationships in the industry are with a lot of sales reps.
That's very true. And thank you for saying that. That means a lot. But it comes back to what I was kind of just saying. Like I built those relationships with you and the sales team because I traveled with you. I think a lot of marketing people can get stuck at their desk. They get stuck behind the numbers, looking at dashboards, trying to see where people converting. And that's all super important. It is. But developing those relationships with your clients and your number one customer in marketing, sales. You gotta spend time with them.
Wow, that is wild. And I remember you saying that. It is true. So, okay, let me ask you this. If every marketing manager, director of marketing, VP, CMO of some sort had an opportunity to spend 6 months in sales before moving into a marketing role or going back, how do you think companies and customers and sales teams would benefit from that?
Right. I mean, I think if you're in the same industry and you're going into sales and marketing back and forth, it's going to make you more qualified, right? Now your marketer has relationships with your customers, right? Now they can call on them for trusted feedback. That's something that I really appreciate from people who are technically still my customers, right? Even if I'm not in sales, they're still customers of Pop Promos. They became my friends and they became people that I could call on and say, hey, does this resonate with you? Does this make sense for you? Is this actually solving a problem for you? Or we just think it's solving a problem for you, right? Like it is important to get that feedback. And so building those relationships within the industry is definitely going to help your marketing people really like feeling the pulse of what's going on in the industry and for their customers. It's going to really speed up the process. So obviously, you still want to be talking to sales as much as you possibly can without being a detriment to the time that they need to actually sell. But you're going to have less asks for sales, right? People who have been in the field for 6 months, they're going to get it. They can run with it. And the sales team is going to learn to trust them because they know they've sat in their seat. Marketing campaigns will be built around actual buying triggers, not assumed ones. They've lived it and they know what hurts. So that is a big one. I think, I talked about better copywriting, but the messaging becomes simpler and more direct. I think when you live in sales, you realize how much people don't read, don't have time for you. You have got to be to the point. Something that I always talk to the team about is be clear, maybe one sentence per line, and your CTA has got to be direct. Don't ask people for more than one thing in one email. Just
low commitment. Don't low commitment.
make it easy for someone to know exactly what you need from them to help them succeed, or to get the feedback, whatever it is that you need. The more simpler and more direct you are, the easier it is for them to actually respond to you and not just say, this is too much and I don't have time for this. So I'm moving on, I'm leaving it red.
Yeah.
And then just better relationships internally. I think most people have worked at a company where sales and marketing don't get along. They don't know each other. They don't spend time with each other, or they go head to head and they can only see the ways that they are hurting each other, right? Like the sales team being like, oh, marketing sent this out and I didn't want them to touch these customers. And for sales, on the marketing side, people might say, oh, they're not filling the CRM incorrectly. The data's not clean and it's making my job harder. There are a million ways that both teams can make each other's lives a lot harder. So getting a marketing person into a sales seat and then letting them live that life, and then it kind of changes the way that you might ask for something for sales, right? Like you might want to add 10 new required fields to the CRM. You are going to piss a bunch of salespeople.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Don't do it.
And, you've got to really decide, what is really the make or break information you need. And maybe you ask them for, 3 new required fields instead of 10. But I really think it's got to be that open communication too. Like you're both there to help each other win. And it's important to get those two teams aligned, rowing in the same direction. And that's how you grow.
Okay, so basically what I gathered from that is you agree with this statement. Sales isn't just a profession, it's a lifestyle. Right?
I would agree with that.
So knowing that, like if someone were to say to you today, like, I don't need to learn sales training, I'm in marketing, what would you tell them after living both sides of the business?
I mean, I would say everybody sells, you're in marketing. So what's the purpose of your job? To help the sales team sell. So if you're either selling the sales team or you're helping the sales team to sell to their customer. You sell your ideas in meetings every day if you're in marketing. If you're looking at your resume in an interview, you're selling yourself there too. You want to go to Fiji for vacation this year and your partner's like, absolutely not. You've got to sell them on why Fiji's the perfect vacation for you. I mean, there's things you want every day. How are you going to get them if you can't communicate clearly, if you can't negotiate, if you can't help people understand the value you're providing and the problem you're solving? It's really just a training in persuasion, empathy, and even like handling no, becoming a more resilient person. And those transfer to every job and to every relationship. It's just a part of being a human. It's learning the best way to interact with other people. That's a big part of it. And something I've thought about is like reframing the phrase like sales training. It's more about how you can have influence, how you can be a good partner, how to work hard to win with methodology and a strategy.
Mic drop. Literally, like sales is a survival skill. If you're breathing, you're selling. If you're breathing, you're negotiating. You're spot on. This was a good move by me to have you on here. I knew that you would bring in such a perspective that other marketing folks, probably their intuition is telling them the same thing, right? Like how many marketing team members out there have ever craved sales training to understand their job better, right? So I can't thank you enough for just coming on here. And I knew this conversation was going to be good. I knew that talking to you we would serve the industry together. But you're communicating with intention. Why sales could be important to anyone. That's touching the sales cycle, the customer service too, right? So I'm happy you're here, but I'm gonna drill you a little bit if you're okay with that, with some rapid fire. I did this with Michael Scott Cohen the last time. It was the first time I tried this with him. It was and he said the same thing. I said this is what I said to him, and I saw his face. Time for rapid fire, right? First thing that comes to mind, and I was like, oh man. So I'm
Right, so we're doing like word association.
We are. So maybe fill in the blanks. But you're an improv artist as well, like for those of you that know Kristine, she's a musician as well. She's great on the spot. You're wonderful with improv. So let me ask you a few rapid fire questions because I want you to give even more transparency.
All right.
Marketing is what? Blank. Marketing is what?
Oh my gosh. Well, marketing is your story. It's the way you're communicating to your customers who you are, the value you provide, and you're solving a problem.
So good. All right, got another one for you. Coffee or tea? What do you prefer?
Coffee, but I've really gotten into tea lately. I had to take a little break from coffee, take care of myself, reduce my stress and anxiety, and learned a lot about tea this year. And I know you love green tea yourself, Jenna, but have you ever had green tea with toasted rice?
No. What?
My friend brought me some back from Japan, and it's really delightful. I found some at a little Asian grocery mart the other day, and I was excited to re-up. So keep your eye out for that. It's a good one.
Runs to Google after our podcast is over. All right, here's another rapid fire question for you. The best marketers understand what?
That everything that you're doing is in service of sales and helping them solve a problem.
That was good. All right, I got another one for you. This last one. What is one thing that you are trying to improve?
Doing what I just did and pausing before I jump to respond something, collecting my thoughts, not feeling the pressure to answer right away, and be more thoughtful and intentional with my responses.
Told you guys this would be a good, authentic, very direct, concise conversation. Kristine, thank you not only for sharing your story, but for reminding all of us that some of the best marketers are the ones who spent the time listening to customers and carrying a quota, that was you, bro, you have a quota, and experiencing life on the front lines and in the trenches, right? So remember, everyone listening, this is sales is not just a profession, it is a life skill. And chances are learning how to sell could probably change your life and your career. So thank you again, Kristine, for being here and saying yes to this. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
I love you, bro.
It was great to be here with you, Jenna. I really appreciate you and Promo Corner for asking me to be on today. This is, I don't know if you consider this a podcast, but if you do, it's my first podcast ever. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to cross that off my list.
First sales role, first podcast. Let's go. Promo Corner.
A lot of really amazing opportunities, Jenna. Thank you.
Well, you have given me a lot of education, and you've given me a friendship that means the world to me. So, as always, thank you for being here. So, Promo Corner, thank you for serving the industry with allowing me to have the show. We go live, guys, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. I believe that's correct. The third Friday of every single month at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 10 o'clock California time, where I live. Kristine, I love you, and I'm proud of you. We'll see you guys in August. Thanks, Promo Corner. Thanks, Kristine.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Jenna. Thanks, Promo Corner. Love you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Love you.